Welcome back to the Better Late Than Never Club. I'm Beck.
And I'm Frost.
Tonight, we're watching a film inspired by our recent activity.
This weekend's activities was going to an ice hockey game for the first time.
In Melbourne.
Which, I don't know if you know this, dear listener, but I didn't even know Melbourne had a professional ice hockey team, let alone two.
So, in inspiration from that, Frosty suggested that we watch the 1992 sports comedy drama, The Mighty Ducks.
I believe the conversation went, hey, have you ever seen The Mighty Ducks?
And I said, no, sir, I have not.
I can't believe you haven't seen The Mighty Ducks.
Insert eye roll here.
I'm pretty sure you rolled your eyes so loud the mics picked it up.
It creaked around my skull. Anyway, like I said, The Mighty Ducks, sports comedy drama, some genres we haven't done in a bit. I haven't done a comedy we've only really done one other sports film.
Yeah, and this I don't think is based in reality.
I don't think so.
It's not like a docudrama.
None of my research suggested that. In fact, this was very little in terms of research. It's a kind of thin wiki.
I mean, it's an old film. I get the vibe that it's probably a bit of a cult classic. Like it had its moment in the sun and then was just lost, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some people like it for nostalgia reasons. But if we're talking success, it was successful.
Oh, really?
It made $50 million in the US and Canada, and that level of success spawned 2 sequels.
I do remember seeing the sequels.
Mm-hmm.
I remember nothing about the sequels. We're about to get interrupted by a little cat who wants some attention.
Well, she's like, I thought you guys were going to pull that thing out of my gums. Why haven't you come upstairs to do that?
So I remember seeing the sequels. I think the original, let's put it like how it is. The sequels were, as all sequels were in the 90s, often just trying to make money on the initial success.
Sure.
I feel like the original says all there needs to be said in a Mighty Ducks film. I don't remember basically anything about it other than I get the idea that it's like a rags to success kind of underdog.
Rags to riches.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure there's riches involved, so...
Or perhaps an underdog story.
Yeah, more of that.
Yeah. That's also all I know about it, really, is that it's like a ragtag group of... I don't know if they're necessarily ne'er-do-wells, but certainly not born winners who get whipped into shape.
Yeah. We're talking Jamaican bobsled team hockey edition.
Another film I haven't seen. So it was successful enough, unexpectedly so. Like the main guy, the main actor, was surprised.
Yeah.
And then, but it wasn't critically acclaimed.
No.
In fact, it is mostly critically unclaimed. It's not rated very well by critics.
So I guess for context, I have seen this film, The Mighty Ducks. I've also seen its sequels, maybe even both of them. Mm-hmm. But when I was like a kid, like properly on TV,
Right.
I don't think I saw these
It's a different lens to see it through as well.
Yeah, and like...
They are kind of for kids in a way.
It might be a show that is for kids, and like some shows that are for kids that have elements for adults, it might or might not have that.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
So we'll see. I also have this thing floating around the back of my head, and we might have to cut this if I'm absolutely wrong, but I think the main actor was kind of like not a good guy.
Well,
What's the guy's name?
Emilio Estevez.
Okay, no, it doesn't ring a bell.
But look, I wouldn't be altogether surprised because all I've forgotten here, I didn't look into him really. All I saw was that he has got a face that I sort of recognize, and he's Charlie Sheen's brother.
Oh, really?
You wouldn't know it from the name, but he's the son of Martin Sheen.
Huh.
So,
Like-
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. What's really weird is that I'm picturing the guy, and I'm obviously, this is face blind Frosty coming through 100%, because all I'm picturing is Michael J. Fox, and it's not that guy.
No.
But for some reason, my brain's like, he looks like Michael J. Fox. He probably doesn't.
Well, I guess we'll find out. I don't really have much else written down, except for the fact that our director is a man called Stephen Herrick.
We haven't done a Herrick film, have we?
Not, although he does have a few notable titles to his name. So he has he directed Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
A film I haven't seen, and we probably should watch.
Mm-hmm. He also did The Three Musketeers in 1993, and then he did 101 Dalmatians.
Is Three Musketeers got Antonio Banderas, or was that Zorro?
He is Zorro.
Antonio Banderas?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is the Three Musketeers also Zorro? I don't know. Haven't seen the
No.
film. We should probably make a podcast about that.
How many times are you going to self-referential in this intro? Jesus Christ. He's also done a bunch of other movies, but those are the ones that kind of stand out to me. He's still directed a movie last year.
Oh, wow.
Still kicking. He also, actually, the first movie on this list is Critters, which I've also heard of.
I haven't.
Anyway, that's basically all I have written down because there's not a whole lot. The only other fun fact that I could squeeze out of the stone of the wiki was that the year after the film's release, the Walt Disney Company, who helped produce, the movie, founded a National Hockey League hockey team and named it the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Oh,
So,
cute.
who are still around.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the Mighty Ducks.
It's still a hockey team. So that's all. I mean, I guess I'm not expecting huge things. If we're talking expectations, they're pretty low because of the critical response to the movie. I'm expecting family, comedy, drama, underdog.
I hope we get some feel good out of it. I hope there's a bit of that.
Yeah, there could be some feel-good moments.
We need that. We will need that, a little bit of that.
I'll be interested to see if the caliber of hockey playing is as good as what we watched on the weekend.
I imagine it'll be somewhat dramatized.
And they're also children, I believe. So maybe a little bit less argy-bargy.
Right.
We'll see.
I vaguely recall there were some quotable quotes, but I think the only one that comes to mind is ducks, ducks, ducks. But I'm sure there are others.
Wow, what a quote. Put it on a pillow. Stitch it on a blanket. Ducks, 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 ducks.
Hush now. We'll play the film and maybe you'll see.
Maybe we're really out of practice. This is the worst intro we've done since the beginning of time.
Since before we had intros.
Correct. This is trash heated up.
The poor editor has to put up with this.
Poor guy. Let's eat some ice cream and watch the Mighty Ducks.
That sounds good.
First, we meet Gordon Bombay, a defense attorney with a bad attitude and bad habits. After losing his job, he is forced to spend his days coaching the local Pee Wee hockey team. With a history himself in hockey, Gordon is tough on his young team and loses their trust along the way. After some reflecting, Gordon realizes the error of his ways and puts his painful past behind him. Apologizing and re-engaging the team, now called the Ducks, Gordon leads his young Chargers to a nail-biting victory. Here's some deeper thoughts on the matter.
Quack, 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 quack. Yeah.
Well, that was wholesome.
It was definitely a G-rated film. I don't know if we've done any other G-rated films.
Maybe not. Maybe Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh,
I can't remember.
That might be PG, but yeah.
That's definitely the other family, very family film.
For sure.
Following kids,
and
mostly.
I definitely remember this film being very family friendly. Mm-hmm. And it was the fight scene where the kids get attacked by the Hawks bullies and they're calling him cake eater is the most offensive thing that they're allowed to say on Disney.
And just throwing him into a soft pile of trash bags.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
This movie was scene for scene. I mean, you kept saying it. It was basically Hallmark movie, but for kids. So not romantic Hallmark, although it had a
that
subplot of it, But it was predictable.
You knew exactly where it was going.
Everything came out exactly as you thought it would. The dialogue was cheesy as hell.
And if you had been the one to write it, you might be a little bit ashamed to admit that. I can't believe the guy sued for the rights to the movie.
I mean, but probably because it made a lot of money.
Yeah, well, look, that's fair. Oh, God. I mean, look, it's really funny that, I can't remember the guy's name, Charlie Sheen, but not Charlie Sheen.
Emilio Estevez?
That Emilio Estevez, in my mind, is not
It's like Michael J. Fox.
He's like Michael J. Fox with the passage of time. We've got Michael J. Fox at home.
I mean, I sort of see what you're seeing.
I think it's mostly just the 90s hairstyle.
Yeah,
he has a similar
aesthetic that definitely follows through.
Because his face is very different. His face,
the floppy hair.
He's definitely a Sheen.
Yes,
100%. Especially in the first 10 minutes of the film where he gets pulled over for drink driving.
And he's a smarmy lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
110%. Charlie was like, I'm going to give you some tips. So
he didn't even audition. I mean, he did fine. He didn't do, I mean, I guess he had fairly limited space to work in as an actor.
There wasn't a lot of room for character development
Right.
in any complex ways, shall we say.
I guess I would have appreciated a little bit more nuance in the performance. I honestly think some of the kids, including Charlie, almost did a better job.
Yes, I agree.
Like, I think the kids did a pretty good job overall. Like, in terms, I feel like with a film like this, they can kind of get away with doing it. But they do kind of carry almost.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, part of what makes this film enjoyable is the team of kids is plucky and likable.
Right, exactly.
And also, despite the cheesy dialogue, pretty believable.
Generally speaking, I mean, there was this film I was going to say to you, but I thought I'd better save it for this part.
Yeah.
It did feel a little bit like about 5 to 6 strung together montages.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that, especially because a lot of the montages were just the kids having fun, which is what made it feel believable and heartwarming.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? Like you had the very short montage of them in the car at the very beginning when they take over his limo.
Yeah.
And then you have like them shopping. And then you have them rollerblading through the mall. You have them skating, obviously, a lot of that.
And they're all learning very important life lessons, Beck.
Right.
And hockey.
Yeah.
Also hockey.
And hockey. So yeah, I thought the kids were the takeaway of terms of like what was enjoyable. And I can see as a kid in the 90s that, when this came out, if hockey was something that was available to you and you went to see this movie, I'd be like, yeah, I'd want to do that.
Absolutely. I still want to do it. I just watched this film and I want to go play hockey.
Yeah.
I would probably get killed because...
And that's the thing. Like, I look at it and I go, oh, well, so I would just break.
Yes.
Like, it is not a sport for anyone that is like easily injured.
Yeah.
Because it's injury city from looking at it.
I mean, we're probably not going to do Mighty Ducks 2 and 3 for
Probably
this.
not.
So one of the things I was like, I vaguely had this recollection of one of the hockey players takes a shot to the knee, like a cheap shot, as in like somebody gets their stick.
An arrow to the knee?
No, like it takes the stick and like really hits him in the knee.
They Tonya Harding'd.
Well, that's what I thought would happen to Banks, right? Instead of him getting pushed into the goal and maybe breaking his collarbone.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the shot to the knee was how they took Banks out. I'm realizing now, because I actually totally forgot that Gordon, the coach, goes on to try out for a
the
team.
minor league.
And that's Mighty Ducks 2.
Oh, is it? It follows him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mighty Ducks 2 follows him through the minor league, and he has like a knee injury.
Yes, that's I'm hearing now from my sources, Wikipedia.com, that is correct.
Yeah, and then so obviously it's older. I don't know if there's any like repeat actors other than maybe Gordon.
There's a fair few.
There you go.
He reunites with most of his former Duck players. Look, it was okay. I will say, if I had watched this, if someone had said this is the best movie from the 90s and I'd watched it, and I would go back to that person and say, what? But no one said that to me, so But hypothetically, I guess I think in terms of rewatch value, it probably only has value now for nostalgia purposes for people. I think that there is plenty of other classic family-friendly movies from that era that are probably better than this. I guess the other thing that separates it is just that it's uniquely about a subject of hockey. Like it's very, very much focused just on that.
I mean, I'm sure if you made this a movie about football, it would be, I don't know if there are any others, but it sure would feel like it's a common thing.
Probably is, I don't know. But it did make me want to watch more movies about ice skating. I suggested as we were watching, we should watch I, Tonya next.
Which I know nothing about.
Which is not quite 10 years old, but...
I was shocked and startled when I found out it was 8 years old.
Yeah. But we could make an exception and watch it anyway, because then we can continue the ice capades as winter settles in.
Yeah, it is chilly. Well, not right now. It's too hot where we are because this room is a hot mess with 2 heat events and closed doors. And don't rent in Melbourne, guys. Don't rent in Melbourne.
So yeah, look, I enjoyed it. I do fear there is not a whole lot to say just because it's such a simple premise. Like it is very much, we joked about it at the beginning, right? Like big lawyer type, has to leave his job to go back to his hometown. I mean, he still lives there, obviously, but essentially go back to his roots, his childhood, and return to something that he now hates.
Yeah.
And
But
then,
why does he hate it?
But his heart grows 3 sizes, and he learns how to, and he becomes a better person, leaving his job.
Yeah.
I was a bit disappointed at the switch around by Mr. Ducksworth.
Yeah,
Because I thought they'd set him up to be like he was the one that arranged for this kind of, learning experience and to learn how to be fair and a team player and all that. So I thought he was meant to be like actually kind of a good guy, even though he's a lawyer,
Yeah, I don't... One thing that sort of escapes me, and shock horror, a Disney Hallmark film from the 90s is thin on plot. Like...
What?
But, like, obviously, the Hawks coach and Mr. Banks,
Yep.
have come to the Ducks team owner, effectively, is the main sponsor, to make this
Because
plea
they
and-
said that the Ducksworth is friends with Banks. Mr. Banks.
Okay, so I missed
Daddy
that like
Banks.
one line throwaway
Yeah.
connection.
So they were old friends. So that's why Ducksworth was so like...
Okay. Yeah, he was willing to make this exception because he knows this guy, but he has no idea who these kids are.
yeah,
it was just an
and it's still like morally wrong, right?
yeah. But like, he's a partner in a law firm.
Yeah.
That's all you really need to know. Have you met a good one? No, they don't exist.
I think he's like the owner. I
partner.
get the vibe. I guess, yeah. Anyway, I enjoyed all the villain energy.
Yeah.
The evil coach.
Coach Riley, I think
Yeah.
his name was.
He had good villain face, and like he was just he met the energy of like
Yeah. Of like
cheesy villain.
aggressive kids team coach.
Yeah.
Like, not encouraging the kids exactly, more like drill sergeanting them. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was, he did a pretty good job. Was a very, likable is not the right word, but like you could
Enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
Like in terms of
He did a good
satisfaction
job
of he pulled off his role very
filling the
well.
role. Exactly. 100%.
This movie was basically, there's just a big life lesson, right? Of you
Yeah.
play to have fun and winning isn't everything. Those are the 2 big takeaways, right?
Yeah.
And a team is, what does he say in the movie? A team is something you belong to.
Oh, that I struggled through that.
the
that
little,
speech.
yeah. But they do a very, look, it's put together in a way that it is at least, it's not unenjoyable to watch.
No, I was smiling
You know?
most of the film
Yeah.
because there was a lot of dumb stuff, like
Like,
the chase scene right at the start with the prank the kids pull off.
Yeah, or even like when he the lawyer who's obsessed with winning,
Yeah.
with his like 30-0 and whatever, and then his number plate is just win. So silly.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot of like it does do comedy. It does family friendly comedy very well.
yeah,
And I will say, aside from maybe some overtones and undertones, it hasn't really suffered from what most films in the 90s suffer from, which is really, really poorly aged
sexist.
comedy.
Honestly, I was actually surprised they had girls on the team.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like a big deal. I mean, the other team did keep calling them all girls as a like in a derogatory way, but that's for just very 90s for you, right? But the fact that the Ducks had 2 girls on their team and that wasn't like a plot point within
Yeah.
them.
It wasn't like, oh, the Ducks are so unique and amazing because they have girls on the team.
Right. Yeah. I thought that was actually quite good and progressive, I guess. I don't know.
I don't actually know if like Pee Wee hockey or if like hockey has men's hockey and women's hockey. I don't know. Maybe hockey is like an open sport because like,
I don't know.
everyone's wearing so much padding. You just
Maybe up to a certain age, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Genuinely don't know. We didn't even have a hockey team in Melbourne as far as I was concerned until the weekend.
I will say, I think I enjoyed this film more because we just watched hockey and I know the rules.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like I just knew more about it. Does that make sense?
Those montages of them playing hockey was probably slightly less meaningless.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you didn't know anything about hockey, just watching these kids move around the ice. Like, there's like emphatic music, but am I meant to be excited? Like, is it important what they just did?
Right.
I understand the concept of a goal, but,
I mean, honestly, with Pee Wee, there's not a whole lot of strategy, seemingly. I do wonder if the actual kids, like how much they participated in those scenes or whether they got, because they'd be actors, right? They were, hired as actors. So I wonder if they then also hired stunt children who play actual Pee Wee hockey.
or I wonder if because there's a huge pool of actors, right? We read that book about that. We read that book from that Nickelodeon girl, and it was like about how child acting is like a whole industry.
Yeah.
And this was around that time. Like,
A bit, this is earlier,
Slightly
but sure.
earlier.
Like 10 to 15 years earlier, but sure.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought she came up during the 90s.
No.
But still, like, that industry is booming. There are...
He's talking about Jeanette McCurdy, by the way. We read her book and...
Learned a lot.
Yeah.
Go
I
read.
mean, look, the acting is an interesting industry for children to be involved in. There is definitely more pitfalls than not that people can make.
But where I was going with is there's a huge pool of kids, and they can pretty readily say, well, kids do skating of whatever variety. Make that a required skill set for your
Audition,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like some kids are required to be able to sing to do a thing.
I mean, that's fair, maybe.
It's also a pretty achievable skill set if you just want to do pee-wee hockey level, skating for ice.
I suppose. Imagine, these kids and their parents, by extension, I guess, had to agree to get, kind of thrown around a bunch on the ice,
Yeah,
fall over a lot.
but it was the 90s.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's just crazy to think about.
Acting.
But also, I guess kids do it and don't get paid.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Just go play hockey for fun. What do you want to rate this film?
Look, before I rate it, I think my main negative was the kid with the power shot.
Oh, Fulton.
Yeah. I feel like they really overdid that. That was the one thing I was like, you've out-cheesed yourself. It's gone from cheesy to cringy. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, if they'd done it once, it would have been like, yeah, okay, that's funny. But I hate it when, a repeated, unbelievable trope gets repeated. It's just... Anyway, that was my main... Everything else, I was like, this is acceptable cheese.
Yeah,
Me at from a fromagerie.
This is acceptable cheese. I agree with you that the Fulton thing is a bit full on. Mm-hmm. They could have done it where, the first time the hole in the net, that's maybe how everyone remembers it, Fulton just had a hole in the net. But the second time where it, pushes the kid who catches it into the goal, so it counts as a goal.
Also, they made a big point of the fact that he only gets it in 1 every 5 shots, and then he gets it in every shot he needs to make.
Yeah.
And that, I'm like, listen, if you're going to write a consistency into a story, you better stick to it, Disney.
I mean...
This is the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The film wasn't too long. It ended right when I felt like it ended, and I feel like what we're talking about is stuff that's on the cutting room floor. More training montages of Fulton getting it from 5 to 1 to 4 to 1 to 3 to 1 to every 2 in 1.
Could be. Yeah.
Maybe that's the montage you need for that to feel a bit better.
The film's now 2.5 hours.
But the film is now 2.5 hours because we've filled in all these plot holes. We've given Banks and Ducksworth. We've given Banks and Ducksworth a history together.
I feel like they could have cut down the length of the final match.
Yeah.
It's pretty lengthy.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is real nitty-gritty stuff, so...
Yeah, but I guess the Fulton, I really agree with that. That was a bit too much.
Yeah.
It was kind of like for me, it's the chase scene at the start of the film where you first meet some of the kids.
Oh, in the fast forward.
That was so out of...
Honestly, that whole thing could have probably been cut too.
Right. But it was so...
You could have done a much shorter thing.
I don't even know... It was like a different movie. It was like...
It really was. It was like the Goonies or the Little Rascals or something. I don't know. I mean, obviously the point of it was to establish that they're friends.
Yeah, friends and
a little rapscallions.
Yeah.
They're...
Up to no good is their primary objective.
And maybe not super hoity-toity kids,
yeah.
Right? They're...
Yeah. Their idea of fun is running through a junkyard after...
Dog poop in a handbag, yep. The height of comedy.
But it's not just that. There was a plan.
There was a plan.
They acquired beans to feed that dog, to follow that dog, to acquire that dog poop. They trolled the trash can.
Honestly, I wanted more emphasis on the dog.
Yeah, you thought this was going to be a film about dogs?
Yeah.
No, there was only 2 minutes of dog.
All right, I think I'm ready to rate this film.
All right, then. Go on.
I rate The Mighty Ducks a 6.8 quacks out of 10.
Simple. Nice.
Yeah.
Direct. I'm going to give this... Wait, you said 6.8? I was going to rate it 6.8. I was... there we go.
Just bumped.
I was going to rate this 6.8. Hans was dead all along out of 10.
That doesn't make any sense. That's a joke I made as we were watching it.
All right, not rate something else.
No, we got to leave all this in now.
I'm going to rate it 6.8. Hans sharpened skates out of 10.
Nice. Hans was a funny side character.
Well, because he was he was like the stand-in for Gordon's dad.
Yeah.
And at the end, he's like, Gordon, I'm proud of you.
Reminded him of who he once was and
Yeah.
the true meaning of Christmas. I mean, of hockey.
Of Hallmark. What?
Yeah.
Hans was an interesting character.
If this movie has sentimental value to it, to you, I would recommend rewatching it because especially with like the wintry season, it
It
feels
has held up. It doesn't
held
suffer from 90s
it's not too bad. Yeah.
problems.
But if it doesn't, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it.
I wouldn't recommend this film.
No, I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to make a sandwich board. You know what I mean? The Mighty Ducks was what it was. Probably did unimaginable things for hockey signups everywhere.
Yeah, like that is a stat I would really be interested to see.
Yeah, the increase in Pee-wee hockey.
Registered
interest.
Pee-wee hockey teams 1989 through to 1995 just to see
The spike.
the spike.
If you have another movie, especially one that's winter themed,
Fond from your childhood, perhaps?
let us know. You can send us a message over on Patreon, leave a comment, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you find us lurking. Thank you for listening. Until next time.
Till next time.
This episode of the Better Late Than Never Club is brought to you by our patrons. Alex, Christopher, Lindy, Matthew, Nathan, and Rachel.
And also our members, Aimless, Andrew, Raina, Salty Pond, and Simon.
Thank you for listening.